I guess we're on. Hey, welcome to Forex Focus. It's Friday. Hey,
Yeah.
what's
Okay.
going on?
All right. There we are. Let's go. I'm doing.
Can you see us?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Look who's back. Celebrity
We're
guest.
here.
Bridget
yeah.
Laszlo.
We're
Fantastic.
guest appearance. My ghostly complexion on the screen after months of just hibernating inside.
It's getting old,
but
isn't
it's
it?
March.
March is old.
We're thawing
though.
out. So
Yeah.
here we are.
I know. This is old winter where it just gets sick and tired.
Yeah.
But we have not caught up with you in several months.
I know.
You've
It's been a minute.
moved on to take a fantastic new role. That's really
Yeah.
exciting. And you've graciously come in early to talk with us a little bit about markets, but what's going on with you? So last time we talked, we got the weekend coming up.
Yeah.
We had moved from Racer X to Mr. Z. I guess I should have started sooner in the alphabet, but what can you share with us? So you've got the weekend coming up tonight, Saturday, Sunday. What can you share with us? Updating your what's going on with you? Because I used to hear a little bit of the buzz, but now I don't. You're rows away. I don't get the insight.
Much to your disappointment, no one in the picture right now. I think it's been nice, like just kind of focusing on work and like my friends and stuff. And so honestly, like I have been just living this life by myself right now. Also, like I'm Catholic, took an intentional break for Lent, no dates for Lent.
Really? That was what you gave up?
Yep, the only man I'm focusing on is my Lord Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. And people are buying this.
Yes, I swear.
That's just gonna sell me some Amway products.
But yeah, no, no updates there. But it's so funny. I will always but one of my first shows, for anyone who hadn't seen this episode, and this was honestly one of my favorites. I remember I had gone on that one date. It was my first date with Racer X, and I had told you about it because I was really excited. And we were going into the production room, and I was like, should I tell Pete, like, hey, don't bring this up, he's gonna be watching? I was like, nah, there's no way he's gonna bring this up. Pete asked me about it.
Violated that
Pete
trust
asked me about it the second the cameras start rolling, and the guy texts, and this was after, mind you, a first date with someone. So I'm like, he's gonna think I'm insane. Like, there's no way that this. We came back from it, fortunately, and he didn't think it was that weird. So we were good. But I tell all my friends, anytime one of my friends has like an embarrassing first date story, I'm like, it could be worse. You could have had it aired out on a live show in front of God knows how many people were watching. So, and the person who you just met.
Hey, he's so lucky to be able to date you, and now he's got a little celebrity status.
I mean, not anymore.
He should have been thrilled. Right.
But yeah, no. But I think for now, focusing on friends, I actually I had a gala last weekend for this like charity league I'm a part of.
Oh.
So that was really fun.
Cool.
It
Themed? Because everything's themed now.
No, there was no theme.
No theme?
No, it was just, it was really nice, though. It was at the St. Regis, and so
oh, wow.
very, very bougie.
Hoity-toity.
Yeah, very hoity-toity. And, yeah, that was, like, my first ever kind of gala experience, so it was nice. And, yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think about what I have coming up. I'm going to London for my birthday in a few months. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And by that, for my birthday, my parents are going around my birthday, the week of my birthday, and asked if I wanted to come. So it worked out perfectly. So yeah, I'm excited for just my first like kind of formal like vacation.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice.
So are you going to stay in London proper, or are you going to go out to the country?
I will be in London proper. I'll be staying with my family. I think we might go out there at some point. They talked about that. I'm just going with the flow. I'm just happy to be there.
You gonna go into the office?
I don't think so.
That's why. That's good. And again, that wasn't. I love it because you look at me and it's like, okay, what trick question is he setting me up for?
Yeah, I'm like,
none. I'm like, good for you. You should.
It depends who's watching.
No, because honestly, I always mix business with. That sounds bad. Business. I will go and with the idea like, oh, I'll only go in for a day, and it's 9:00 at night. My wife is calling me. Are you ever coming back? What's going on? So it's good. It's good that you're not. I tried to split the difference and I'll wrap some work in with vacation, and it turns out that it's frustrating work, and you never take any time off. And I've got my wife walking by me, just scowling at me, like, why are you on a call at 6 a.m?
Fair enough.
Yeah, right. And it's like, I'm either going to get hit with a banana or hot coffee. So,
I think I'd take the banana.
No, she's so sweet. Because she realizes it's important to unplug. So good, you're going to get to do that. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. What about you? Any summer travel plans?
No summer travel. I'm actually, JJ and I are traveling. See, now I'm violating what I just said. JJ and I are going to a futures conference.
We're actually traveling to go work in the office.
Yeah, well, Monday and Tuesday we're going to Boca for a futures industry event. And
that's not a bad place for a work event.
No, it's really nice.
Yeah.
And then I'm driving Tuesday evening to the other side of Florida to meet my wife, and we're going to spend some time in Naples.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice.
So that should be fun. And actually, my daughter's coming along, which is great.
Nice.
So, and she, like you, she's very user friendly. So it's fun in a good way. What I mean is she's easy to travel with.
Yeah.
Where my sons are. I love them, but the problem is when you travel with again, my kids are 30, 28, and 25, and I'm sure I've got two of those. Michelle, if you're watching, yes, I got the dates wrong, the ages wrong. I always do.
That's a dad move.
It's such a dad move. But when you get the three of them together, they all revert to the age of 12 and start, the bickering. Why does he get that room? It's like, hey, all the rooms are free. You should be grateful if it's a family vacation. So that never quite works out that way. But no, my daughter's great. We debated whether or not to take our dogs, and wisely we chose not to.
It's one of those things that in theory is great, and then you actually have to deal with them, and it's like, why did we do this?
It's funny because I ordered the carriers, the little carriers on wheels. So I'm like, oh, great, I'm going to become one of those annoying people in the airport.
Yeah.
And, you try to get your dog to go into this, and even with treats and everything, they tense up. So you're like basically having to shove this log into this case. And they have a little zipper where they poke their head out. And of course, I'm like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. If I can't even get them in, so we made the prudent decision of we have somebody coming in to watch them. But it should be nice. So
That'll be
looking
nice.
forward to that. It'll be a nice break. We're working very hard on getting the FX products into the Tasty Trade platform, which is going to be very exciting.
That is so exciting.
That's coming soon. We'll be sharing more about that. But this will be like a nice little break before. We're in the midst of the work, but the next 30 to 45 days is really going to be crunch time for us to get everything done we need to get done to build as great a customer experience as possible and get these products into more people's hands because they're exciting. Well, let's talk a little bit about markets.
Yeah, tariffs on, tariffs off, tariffs on, tariffs off again, tariffs on, tariffs off.
And now they're still on, but they don't apply to anything. So can we jump over to the platform, guys? Thanks so much. So, and today was so we've got non-farm payrolls at 7:30.
Every time I'm on here, I swear it's non-farm payrolls week.
Yeah, and
weird coincidence.
This has been
record euro.
Huge move, 400 pip move in the euro, and the daily chart. We know it's a huge, and we talked about. We put in highs around close of London time, 10 o'clock our time in Chicago, 108.5. And we got a good 80 pip pullback from that. But that's all you got. And the market opened in Asia quiet, but the bid tone came back in relenting. Very and we're seeing this is sterling moving along for the same ride? Yes, to a varying degree. Yeah. But you look at things like Aussie, down.
Yeah.
Canada, dollar Canada higher, or Canada down. So it is very much becoming not just a dollar story, but a little bit of a euro and European growth story. And I think it's funny because I get a fair amount of emails and, this has to be a great spot to short euro. And we talked a little bit about this on the close. When you tend to go out near the highs of the day, chances are when they open up later in the evening or the next day, you're going to be able to sell them higher. This was the case where that is too. And the fact they're able to tack on go through the highs, be at new highs right now, going to quote unquote non-farm payrolls, it tells me as a trader a couple of things that they really don't care about non-farm payrolls. And chances are...
Bigger fish to fry, is that kind of the mindset behind it, would you say?
Yeah, and I think even if we get some really high print in non-farm payrolls, I think they're looking for 140 or 150. We'll take a look at that. Even if they got a 250, usually the market will react where euro would trade lower. If it does, I got to imagine when the markets move this far, this fast, there is a trapped nature to them. Whether you've been short or not long or have to hedge, the markets have moved so quickly, they haven't given you time to do that.
Yeah.
So you may not see, I think people look at this and say, well, this is too far, too fast. You should give back half of it. I think that is probably going to be unrealistic. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a lower print at some point.
Yeah.
Buyers emerge. Frankie actually had a good call yesterday that if you did want to be short something on the rally, honestly, the better play that gave you a bigger pullback yesterday was being short cable. The laggard.
Interesting.
So it had underperformed on the rally. And when the markets did turn, when the euro rolled over a little bit, sterling rolled over more by perform.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird because you think, I want to sell the thing that's at the greatest extreme. This is a case where sometimes you sell the thing that's being pulled up with it because it's more likely to give back a little bit of ground.
Yeah, I could see that. And I think, too, there's been some dollar kind of, pullback in the last couple of weeks, too. We've seen that from what I've been, catching myself up on.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. And it's definitely, Canada's having a tough time.
Yeah.
Again, the Canada bid coming back in, the dollar bid coming back into Canada. Same thing in Aussie trading lower. Kiwi is trading lower, which is, again, frustrating. Frustrating for, it's interesting because Kiwi, I still think, is trying to figure this one out a little bit because Kiwi is... he's talking about tariffs on Kiwi. The Chinese tariffs and its impact on the New Zealand currency, possibly a little bit of the case. But we can hear you, John.
Tony, can you hear me, though?
So I think that we're definitely seeing different dynamics play through here. And it should be an interesting day because the euro is definitely, statistically, this is a huge move, way past your 1 or 2 standard deviations move.
Right.
More put into it now. Now we're in a little bit of
the rate cuts yesterday. How's that gone with the euro? What do you think?
Right, and you would have thought, okay, they're cutting rates. Why is the currency strengthening?
Right.
And I think the market, again, it's looking past the short-term rate cuts the European Central Bank is doing and focusing on the German growth story. And if Germany is going to spend what they say they're going to spend now, they're going to own their own defense, they're going to spend a huge amount of money and borrow to do it, that long-term German rates have already reflected that by rising a little bit, the trajectory of rates moving forward probably isn't more European rate cuts, but possibly rate hikes. And that is playing a little bit in the euro's favor right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing a very soft U.S. stock market, while
Yeah,
the German
tell me about it. Yeah.
the German stock market is trading at record highs.
Yeah.
And continues to. I didn't look at the DAX this morning, but I wouldn't be surprised with this euro move that we're seeing that play through. And dollar yen actually continues to soften up a little bit. So while Aussie, Kiwi, the commodity currencies, Canada having a struggle, I think whatever shape these, and again, the tariffs were, well, they're on, they're off. They're not on goods that are covered by the old MCA, the old trade agreement. I don't think anyone knows. And it's, I was watching an interview with somebody who actually is in the oil pipeline business. And they said oil, and someone else who says cars are manufactured in the U.S., but they're somewhat assembled in the U.S., sent back to Canada for more assembly, come back to the U.S. for another parts, and they go back and forth several times.
Yeah.
At what point do they pay a tariff? And nobody has a clue. And who's supposed to collect it? Nobody's told us who's supposed to pay it. We're not
Right.
asking because we don't want to.
No, yeah.
So I think.
Well, and then it's Trump kind of saying, well, yeah, tariffs, but no automobiles. That was the last thing I read. Is it's like he kind of exempted automobiles from the equation, and
Right.
so it's like that's a huge part of imports, specifically from Mexico.
Right.
You know.
And I think what we're seeing is a lack of clarity as to, has he boxed himself into a point where he can't get himself out of it? And I think the U.S. equity market is taking a look at, whenever you add uncertainty as to what the cost of goods are going to be, there's been a fair amount of, less regulation, more clarity. There's more value behind U.S. assets.
Right.
That's been challenged right now.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing that play through the dollar. So some of the things that have been softest against the dollar, again, I traded yen when it was 78, and I've traded yen when it's 160.
Yeah.
152, 147, 150 are still high levels going back. And, what's great here is we can even go back and look monthly. Are we still at the upper end of a very...
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, decades.
Right.
Now, which is weird. I can say that now. It was my
Yeah.
birthday.
And I think a little bit more stable story coming out of Japan. So is it rates? Is it tariffs? Is it whatever? It's always an amalgam of things. But I think when you look at, until we see a little bit more stability in U.S. markets and U.S. policy, I think it's going to be challenging for the dollar to recoup. So, what we started to see in the yen, and we can go down on the hourly here, is that we're seeing little rallies in dollar yen, but they're being met with selling. And we're not seeing rallies where we've seen previously. Let's just go back to a daily, where we saw, little pullbacks. This was the big August pullback, but little pullbacks, but always higher highs. Pullback shallower than the previous one, higher highs. We're seeing just the opposite now. We're seeing when it rallies, it doesn't rally back to any point it's been at, and then it pushes to a new low. Yeah. And we're now at a level where we're starting to search for a new range. What does that mean for a trader? There's more elasticity. There's more volatility in the market because there's more uncertainty about what is the range? What's the low and what's the high? No one's quite certain right now. We're finding a new price level. So usually lessen your size a little bit, widen out your expectations around where you want to get involved. And, I think when you look at this and say, geez, I really thought dollar yen was overvalued, but I missed it. I didn't sell the 158s. I didn't sell the 160s.
Right.
Do yourself a favor and put a little context around being able to trade both sides of the markets. Now, you can argue getting short dollar yen down here, well, I've missed 300-400 pips. Yeah, you have. But let this new range establish itself. That range may be 142 to 150. There is opportunity here. You haven't missed the boat. You've got to accept the fact that, again, trying to pin the high here on any of these moves was a difficult and challenging exercise. When we traded up through 150 the first time, Bank of Japan said some stuff. Oh, this is moving too far too fast. Of course, the market challenged it, and we proceeded to 162. As they unwind that, we're probably going to see a little bit of that unwind come through, and you can't get trapped in. I can only trade if it's the higher. I'm getting the absolute high or low.
Right.
You accept what the market gives you, and you take advantage of that.
Yeah, and I feel like also kind of maybe what you're saying is it's that dance between the moment to moment and also looking at the bigger picture and having a sense of perspective when you're making your decision on what to do.
I think you're absolutely right, is giving yourself a little bit of context. Yes, the markets are more volatile. They're a little bit more elastic. Euro has definitely been a little bit more one-sided. But I would imagine you would like to see one nice pullback down in sterling pre-travel.
Right.
Make that shopping experience in the UK a little bit better.
Oh, and it will be happening regardless. So it's just a question of how.
It's price sensitive. I love that. She's a price sensitive shopper. All right, fair enough. But it'll be interesting to see. Let's jump to the calendar really quickly just so we can walk through.
Saw to a headline this morning that the Chinese yuan, their exports were less than expected, which felt to me of not like that was it. Like that. Yeah, I thought I would figure that. With the tariff stuff. I don't know. I'm just curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, and again, they've used their currency as a tool to make themselves more competitive. So they're looking for. It looks like they're looking for 160. Previous was 143. Now, remember, guys, we also have unemployment in Canada. And we can look at the participation rate. They're looking for 65,000 jobs created off of a this is the percentage rate. I'm sorry. Let me get to, where am I? The employment change. That's what I want. Okay. So they're looking for 20,000 jobs. They had 76 was a little bit below forecast. Again, they're expecting a little bit of slowdown in their economic numbers. Have said that. Will tariffs impact these job numbers? Not yet. It's too soon on the U.S. side and on the Canadian side. But so we will see some reaction in both Canada markets off this number, and they both come out at 7:30. So those will be two things to see. And guys, remember, it's not the number itself. It is what the forecast is 20,000. If you get an $80,000 print, Canada will rally. If you get a negative number, Canada will fall. It's what you want to do then around that. If you're looking to buy Canada cheap and you get a negative print, it may give you an interesting entry level. The fact that Canada has had such a hard time rallying, I wonder if that's the right one you want to trade right now.
Yeah.
But what you will get is the binary event will give you trade on both sides. Think about your game plan, what you want to do. Have your entry and exit levels in place. If they land, you get a trading opportunity. If not, you move on to the rest of the day, because I think we'll still have a lot of interesting movement throughout it.
Totally.
Bridget, thanks so much.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
It's so great to be on with you.
All right, TGIF.
Let's wind it up. Okay. Well, and again, good to hear the pause around lunch. We'll have you back next month to hear what wild UK is.
You sound so crazy.
Oh my God. When is Fat Tuesday? That's the last day.
Well,
right?
that was last Tuesday.
Okay.
Well,
that's the start.
Started 2 days ago.
Okay.
I believe, and then it ends sometime 38 days from now. I think 40. I don't know.
I should know this.
I should know this
too. It's Easter, right?
Yeah. Well, it's Easter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
All right. So that'll be an interesting discussion. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank
Love
you.
having you on. Guys, stay tuned. Coming up next, Tom, Tony, and Vanetta. And we'll see you back here Monday at 6:30 for the latest edition of Forex Focus. Have a great weekend.
Zach, South Carolina. How are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm good, guys. I just wanted to let you guys know and Tasty Nation know that I've been following you guys for 3 years. Where else can you call two real traders? They pick up the phone and answer your question. There's so many so-called traders out there that give you vague strategies and want you to buy their course to learn